Is now a good time to purchase in Orange County, specifically coastal Orange County, Laguna Beach, Newport Beach, etc.? And if so, why?
Well, okay, yeah, great question. It's always a good time to buy. It just is a question of whether or not you have to sift through a lot of properties or just a few. And so that's why we hire real estate agents, because they do the searching based on our criteria. They curate it down to just the things that actually make sense for what we're looking for, and they present them to us at that time. And then we review stuff that does fit our criteria or is closest to it as buyers. And so I encourage everybody to be looking, but it really depends on where the market's at. And so if the market's been, like it has been, 10 years in a boom plus, and then we started to see a little bit of a flatlining, maybe a softening in certain submarkets, but very, very small here at the coast, the market was still up and still jamming. Some people could say, well, why would I want to buy at the top? But at the same time, a lot of people will want to sell who are conservative enough to know that they've experienced some really great appreciation over the last 10 years. And so they might be reasonable enough to sell at a price that's not at that, unicorn buyer expectation. And then if it's the property that is exactly what your family needs, and you're in a very highly insulated market, like Laguna Beach, for example, or many areas of Newport Beach and everywhere along the coast in these top coastal communities, you're not worried about losing 5% or 10% if you bought at 10% undervalue. That means you're just not going to have as much appreciation, let's say, in the next 5 years. But if you keep for 10 years or even longer, it's not that big of a deal if it meets the needs of you and your family. So, but if we're talking about investment properties, rentals or flips, well, then you're going to need to scrutinize those a little bit more. But any uncertainty, especially as it relates to the COVID-19 in this current time, to answer your question, uncertainty and fear in any significant segment of our society is going to help buyers go out there and find that one deal that they could get that was sitting on the market for whatever reason, that should have sold but didn't, that needs work and wasn't presented perfectly, that got unlucky and fell out of escrow, and then all of a sudden COVID-19 hit, and they've got a good agent, advocate for them that's able to say, hey, now's our time. We need to try and get this one, because you're going to be able to do a value add and still get a bunch of appreciation, because it's a rare property or class of property in this particular highly valuable submarket. So there's an absorption rate that's strong. There are families looking for this particular type of property with a rental unit. And so, yes, it's a great time to buy, especially because of that uncertainty and that fear. And then the fact that we're on the tail end of a big, long boom, and some buyers say, hey, I'd like to cash out, but I don't need all the money. I don't need the unicorn buyer. I'm just happy that I've made some really good money, so I'm going to give someone a reasonable deal, and they can come in and get what they want. So, but I'll tell you one thing. I do not recommend, and I always remind everybody, my philosophy on real estate, whether I'm selling or buying, well, if I'm selling, you must sell a turnkey property. Unfortunately, not all of us have the money we need to put into the property or know exactly what to do, no matter who's telling us, to prep the property, make it turnkey for the buyers that are most likely to pay top dollar for that particular home. And so that's an art in and of itself. The people that do it well are the ones that can really shine, especially in a challenging time. And if you're a buyer, you want to buy a property that actually is not turnkey. Unless it doesn't matter to you that much and you get a decent deal and you're okay with paying fair market value, the opportunity is in buying a property that is in a good area, as you know, that needs a value add. So you can get that boost in appreciation and boost in equity, especially if the market's going to correct, to offset that. So you're not worried about losing money. It's just a matter of how much you're going to make.
Right. Well said once again.